Hey everyone, it's Shelby here. Welcome back to A Little Literary Love. I'm glad you all are with me today because today's video is going to be another recommendations video. I don't know if this is necessarily a trope per se, but it is something that when it comes up in a romance book, I try to take note of it. I think it's fascinating to me, and it adds up for some extra steamy, sexy times in a romance book. So I do enjoy that. But we're going to be talking about characters that have piercings, and not just like piercings like their ears pierced or like a septum piercing. It's like more piercings geared towards like a sexual nature. So we're going to get right into those. But before we do, please, if you like this video, make sure you are hitting that thumbs up button. Also, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. If you enjoy my content, my recommendations videos, all the other videos that I do, I talk about romance books, obviously, like 24/7. I post videos every Thursday and Sunday. It took me a minute because I was like, what day is today? And yeah, I loved having you all here. Thank you so much. So yes, I am rearranging my office space. We're seeing how it goes. I could actually open up my windows and maybe have like some natural light for this video because I haven't had that in so long. Hello, spring. Hi. But yeah, so we're going to get right into these books that I have here. So first one I have is A Promise by Pam Godwin. This is the start of a trilogy. And this one, our female main character, she is in love with this guy. He's kind of this like badass, comes in on a bike, a motorcycle, and she's just like immediately infatuated with him. But then he like with his job that he has, it's very like secretive, and one day he doesn't come home, and I can't remember if she's told that he's missing or if she's told that he has died. Anyway, so now it's like years later, she's still trying to work through her grief of never seeing this man that she fell in love with, and there's this man that comes around. She owns a small little dance studio, and he offers her a job at one of his businesses to dance to help kind of save her business. And she's very intrigued by this man, and they have insane sexual chemistry together. So this one, the piercing is actually on the female main character, which I thought was very interesting because most romance books, it's usually the male that has any type of like piercing if there is one. So she has the piercing in her region. This one, so before going into this book, just know if you're interested in reading this one does end up becoming a love triangle story. And each book does end on a cliffhanger. So know that going in. If you are a fan of Pam Godwin's books, if you have read her Deliver series, or if you are thinking about reading her Deliver series, I definitely recommend checking out this one before going into the Deliver series, because this one has a character that does end up having a big role in the Deliver series. So the Deliver series can spoil things for this series. I think it's called the Tangle and Lies series. So if you are thinking about reading both of these series, do this one first before going to Deliver series. Then we have Fairytale by Veronica Lancet. This is a fantasy romance standalone. The main time frame of this story takes place, I believe, in like the 1950s. Our female main character, she ends up getting notified that her long lost father, she's adopted. She was living at an orphanage, so she didn't know who her biological father is. Anyway, she gets notified that he has died and has left something in her will, but in order to claim whatever it is, she has to go to Ferrydale, which is where her father is from, come to this town and be there for his funeral and for the reading of the will. However, this is a very strange town. Lots of strange things are happening in this town that she's not too sure about. She finds herself very drawn to this person, this man, that everybody in the town says that she should stay away from him. And then, so she's drawn to this man, and then she also keeps having all these very vivid dreams about this other man that she's very attracted to, and having these scenes play out in her dreams that happened 200 years prior. So very mysterious. They also talk about that there's maybe a demon in the town. Like I said, it's a paranormal town. It is very long, a very thick book. So just know that, but it is a standalone. So there you go. So with this one, it is the male main character that has a piercing. And this one's pretty unique because in this male's culture, having a pierced dick is a sign of commitment to somebody. So it's kind of like if they were like married and he has like a ring on his finger, but in their culture, it is on his dick. So I love this one. It's one of my favorite paranormal romances ever. Then we have Butcher and Blackbird by Brynne Weaver. This is the first book of a trilogy about serial killers. This is a dark romantic comedy. Very long list of trigger warnings for this one. But this one is about two serial killers, and they have known about each other for a while, and they end up running into each other, and they decide to make a game out of their killing. That they have this kind of like an annual scavenger hunt, if you will, but the prize is to find a victim and try to murder this person first. And whoever murders first and figures out who they're supposed to be killing wins for that year. And then of course they banter and they end up falling in love because it is a romance, but they're just killing lots of people and it's very gory. But it's also hilarious somehow. So in this one, our female main character is the one with the piercings, and she has a lot of piercings in areas. So then I have Her Soul to Take by Harley LaRue. This one is another paranormal romance. This is, again, a start of a trilogy. In this one, our female main character is supposed to be sacrificed in a cult, and then she like runs away, and this cult has this demon at their beck and call that they are wanting to hunt her down to bring her back so that they can sacrifice her. He finds her and he decides that he's going to keep her instead of sacrificing her, and they're going to have a lot of fun sexy times together. So this one is pretty unique. She is the one that ends up with the piercing. I can't remember. He might honestly also have some piercings. I can't really remember, but the one that stands out to me is she gets pierced in this story. It takes place during a sexual time between the two characters. So I have not read that before. So it's just, I don't know, it's just something that I can't. It's hard to get that out of my mind because it was so like different, if that makes sense. Very good. And then I have On the Care and Keeping of Orcs by Casso Shire. This is the second book of a series, but the books are all standalone, so you can read them in any order. I have not read the other books of the series. This is a monster romance. This one is about our female main character. She and her brother's best friend, whom she also has a crush on, they are going together on this trip together because our female main character's sister-in-law has horses that were taken from her, I believe. So they are on a trip to go get her sister-in-law's horses back and bring them back to her. And her brother doesn't necessarily want her going on her own. So that's why our main character of the story ends up going with her. So this one, so there's like that forced proximity together, only one tent trope in this one. We have lots of fun, sexy times together. This one, he is the one with the piercings, which makes it pretty fun. Then I have Pucking Around by Emily Rath. This is the first book of her Jacksonville Race series, which is an ongoing series. She doesn't have all of the books out of the series yet, but this first book of this series, this is a polyamorous story. Our female main character she lands a job, I believe she's a physical therapist, maybe, with the Jacksonville Rays hockey team, and she just kind of like starts to form relationships with some of the people that are there. So there's a hockey player that she had a one-night stand with. So there's a little bit of like a second chance there. There is, I think he's like an equipment manager maybe, who happens to be her neighbor, and then the goalie of the team. And they just have this little polyamorous relationship, all the four of them. So one of the men has piercings. I believe she has a septum piercing. I can't remember if she has any other piercings besides that, but I do remember that one of the males in the story has piercings down there. And then the last one that I have on this list is Brutal Vows by J.T. Geisinger. This is the fourth book of a series. I don't remember what the series is called. But all of these books can be read as standalones if you want. They do, like, other characters from the other books do come up in this one. So if you would like to know more about those characters, you might want to read those first before going into this one. But if you really don't care about any of those, you should be totally fine just reading this one as itself on its own. This is a mafia romance series. So this one is, we have our main character. He is an Irish mobster, and he is going to be in an arranged marriage with, I believe, the Italian mob. And he is supposed to get married to, of course, in mafia stories, to like arranged marriages, to kind of help form alliances between the two like mafia groups. Anyway, so he is going to be in an arranged marriage with our female main character's niece. But she is kind of derailing the marriage because her niece is very young and she is very protective of her niece and wants to make sure that he is not going to be doing anything nefarious or is going to harm her in any way. So she kind of inserts herself into all of these like discussions and these talks. And in doing so, like, they're very attracted to one another, like very attracted to one another. So of course, then they end up having a romance together, even though they are not supposed to be getting married. He's engaged to somebody else. So this one, our male main character has a piercing. He has his nipples pierced, which I think is interesting because I don't see a ton of men just in general, but also in like romance books that have nipple piercings. So I thought that was interesting, and this is a really great book. Very steamy. All of the books in this recommendations video are hella steamy, hella spicy, so definitely check all of these out. But if you have any more recommendations for books that have characters with any unique piercings, for like sexual nature type piercings, let me know in a comment down below, because I don't know, I really like it in my romance books. I don't always like actively seek it out, but when it's in a book, I'm all like, oh, okay, this is cool, this is interesting. So anyway, if you have more book recommendations for me and for all of us watching here, leave a comment down below with some of them, and so we can all enjoy in some nice spicy books. But anyway, that is going to be it for this video. Thank you all for watching. But yeah, I'm just rambling now. I'm going to shut up and we're going to end this video. I will see you all in the next one. Bye, guys.